Hey folks, my name is Brad and today I am back way up in the mountains of Vermont, and I brought my metal detector because right behind me is an old stacked stone foundation from a home that nobody has lived in or likely even visited in well over 100 years. According to the landowner who invited me here, this forest has been unoccupied since at least the 1920s, so I'm really looking forward to finding some cool old stuff today. Now, if this is the first of my videos that you've seen, I publish one of these every single Friday, so if you like what you see here today, consider subscribing or just come on back next week. I'm gonna get my metal detector out and see what we can find.
86, 87. Sounds very loud. Maybe shallow. Whoa. What in the world is this? Searchlight. Searchlight.
All right, well, this thing is way cooler than I initially thought when I pulled it out of the ground. When I first saw it, I thought it was a very decorative, like mason jar lid that seemed to have holes in it for some reason. But I've taken a few minutes and looked up these words that I found on it. And as it turns out, this is such a cool piece of history. So as I cleaned it off as much as I could, it says made in the United States, Bridgeport Brass Co. And here it says Searchlight. This is the top, I'm guessing, maybe vent or air control on a brass kerosene bicycle lamp. And I'm gonna throw a complete picture of one of these up on screen. How beautiful are these things? Bicycle lamps. And it seems like they were very popular. They're collector's items now. They sell for a ton of money. What an unexpected find. I say it over and over in my videos, but these sites from this age are some of my favorite places to go. I love finding things from colonial times, as old as it gets here in Vermont, but there's just such a wide array of things that can be found here. Things I never would have imagined we could find with a metal detector. And here is a perfect example, part of a brass kerosene bicycle light. Searchlight. In case you're out riding your bicycle in the night and you need to signal to other people riding their bicycles. Amazing. Not your standard treasure, but something I am very excited to find and to go down the rabbit hole of research. All right, see what else we can find here.
It's a nice target, 87. Sounds like it's double beeping a little too. Might be real shallow. Oh, it's a coin. Wheat cent. It's all right. It fits the time frame. Oh yeah, there's more. Yep. Another wheat penny. Coin spill. Pocket spill. All right, we've got a whole bunch of coins all over here. 5 cents, all wheat cents. See if I can get a date range off these when I get home. Yeah, they would have missed that 100 or so years ago, for sure. We've got an 85 kind of in the rock rubble here. See something shiny? What is this? Oh. Would you look at that? Around a brick. Awesome.
Well, I recognize what this is. I'm sure you do too. Just part of an old pocket watch frame. It would have more than likely had a closure on the front and the back, and you can see there's a hole right through the top here where the winder would have been. And I have no idea why there was a brick right through the middle of it, just the way the building tumbled, I suppose. And one thing that's still on my list of things I would love to find, as silly as it is a pocket watch with glass still intact. And the dream find for me would be numbers on the face still visible. Thus far, just the frames and the mechanics, the guts. of the watch, never the whole thing together. Unless these folks lost two, it doesn't seem like we're gonna find one of those here today. But I'm happy with the frame. These things always sound fantastic on the metal detector. And if I had to take a wild guess, I would say end of the 1800s, turn of the century. Beautiful find.
89, double beeping. Oh my goodness. What is that? What is that?
Well, it appears we have a round copper coin here that I don't recognize upon first glance. It seems like it's probably a token. There is text on there. Man. So whenever coins or tokens don't have a huge height disparity between the background and the image or text, it makes them so difficult to read. So a little trick that I'm going to do here is shining some light on it sideways, and hopefully that will reveal what is on this. So here we have it in natural light, and we'll shine this on it sideways, see what we have here. Oh yeah. Good fortune. Carry this lucky coin. Buy it at Fishman's. Awesome. So this is a token for, I would guess, a general store called Fishman's. You would have been able to redeem this for some amount of money at that store. I would guess it's post 1900, and I don't know where Fishman's was off the top of my head. Once I get home, I'll do some research on it. I'll throw that information up on the screen right now. But I would take a wild guess and say that it was relatively close by, because the person who lived here and had this ideally would have wanted to redeem it at some point, unless it really was their lucky coin and they unfortunately lost it. And here we are 100 or so years later finding it again. Maybe it'll be my lucky coin. I don't know. We'll see how the rest of the day goes. I'm certainly going to hang on to it. I don't think I'll be able to redeem it now. But you never know. Fishman's Good Fortune Lucky Coin.
Under these ferns, got a 79, 78. Let's see what it is. Ooh, something green, brass. Awesome. Look at that heart.
So this little brass artifact, which is a heel plate, went on the very bottom of typically a lady's heel, has quite the little urban legend attached to it. They say, and by they I mean folks who metal detect and find these, they say that ladies of the night would often wear these on the heels of their boots, and as they walked they would leave a little trail of hearts for would-be customers to follow and find them. Now that is the story that I heard a long time ago, and the one that I've repeated ever since because it's a great story. It tells a great story about this little piece of brass. But I have recently learned that people have also found heel plates depicting the other symbols on a deck of cards. Diamonds, spades, and clubs. I've only personally found these with hearts. I found 3 of them now. So I'm going to keep repeating that story with the added disclaimer that apparently the other 3 suits of a deck of cards exist out there somewhere. Great find. Let's keep going. See what else we can find here.
82. Ooh, something silver. Oh, that's funny. I actually just found one of these over there.
So this area is beautiful. The very old road is to my right over here. On the other side of that is the foundation. And over here is a little stream. When it's dry, there's probably no water there at all, but we've had quite a bit of rain the last couple weeks. And there's quite a bit of water there. I always try to get near little streams like this when they're next to a home site, because folks up here in the mountains had to do their laundry too. And, you know, I haven't found a well here. Can't imagine they were drinking this water, but they certainly would have been using it to wash their clothes and dishes more than likely. And what we have here is a suspender. Unbroken. Almost all the time. This part is missing, as if it had too much pull on it and it broke. But this one appears like it could still function, which leads me to believe that it was lost rather than thrown out. And right over here, also along the stream, I found a matching one. This tooth is busted off, but that may have just happened while it was in the ground. So all we can do is speculate, but my telling of the story is that they were over here doing their laundry in the stream and somehow lost their suspender setup. There's probably more pieces of it around here. Maybe it happened in the wintertime, got lost in the snow, and then come springtime it was already in the ground a bit. Not sure, but we have a pair of probably 1910, 1920 suspenders. Very nice. Couple suspenders. Let's see if we can find the rest of it.
Very loud. 90. Sounds like it's right on top. Oh, what's this? What? Okay. What do you suppose that was? That's not a toilet paper roll, is it? It's for holding toilet paper. Well, I can't say I know the history of toilet paper, but that's certainly what it looks like to me. Am I in the outhouse? Uh-oh. Maybe I better get out of this particular area. Funny. Well, hidden in this mess of logs, I've got a 86. Let's see what it is. 91, still under that shell casing. Is that it? That is it. Oh, sweet.
Well, unfortunately, it is just a small piece of one. But what we have here is 1/2, minus the shackle, of a padlock seal. Brass padlock. And I love finding padlocks. There were so many varieties and brands. From what I understand, these brass ones were, for the most part, meant to be outside, less possibility of rusting. But this one, there's only a piece of it, which tells a great story. Why is it broken? Was it broken on purpose? Can't imagine these things broke just from normal use. Was there a crime involved in some way? I think it was last year I actually found a padlock that had a bullet hole right through it, which very clearly was purposely broken to get into, you know, whatever was locked. But was this one purposely broken? Maybe. It's pretty out of shape. The rest of it is nowhere to be found. What do you think they had a padlock on that needed to be broken off? Cool find. Everything tells a story. Wish we could know what it was.
All right, well, I'm kind of in between the stream, which is right behind me, and the home site in front of me. And it seems like there's a lot of trash down here. I'm seeing fragments of glass and lots of iron, but I have a really loud 92 here, which leads me to believe it's a big piece of brass. So let's see what it is. There's some glass there, see that? All right, finally got the roots out here in a rock. It's right here now. Whoa. Wow. I know what that is. Do you? Guess before I tell you. That is awesome.
All right, does everybody have their guesses in? I suspect this piece right here probably gave it away. which if you can't tell is a broken toothed gear. This is just one of, I think, probably two pieces, identical pieces, of what would have been a beautiful large mantle clock. Likely would have had a wooden frame, but I think that this is generally the shape that the face would have been. I think that this is where the dial would have come through. Once again, no glass or face of the clock, but we can certainly identify from this. Sometimes these plates, which all the gears would have attached to, have a maker's mark and patent date and all of that stuff on here. You know what? I think this one has one. Let's see. Hopefully we can make this out. Looks like it says Terry and Andrew. Fortunately, there's a hole going right through some of the other text. Bristol? Say Bristol? Okay, yeah, so this is Terry and Andrew, Bristol, Connecticut. And from the quick little Googling I did just now, it seems like they were producing clocks around 1840, which predates this place by at least 50 years. But a beautiful mantle clock like this would have been a focal point of the room. It was likely would have been an heirloom passed down through family members. And unfortunately, it found its way into the ground here. It seems like they probably tossed it down the bank into the stream. Maybe it stopped working, maybe they tried to get it fixed, but they couldn't get it fixed. Who knows, but one man's trash, right? I think it's interesting. Beautiful piece of engineering.
All right, well, I just found that clock part, and I'm making my way down the side of the stream bank here. And I got a little target here that caught my attention. Pretty sure it's junk though, I'm not gonna bother with that one. But my eye wandered. Can you see this right next to my coil? Are you kidding me? It's an old marble. Impossible to find with a metal detector, but it was just sitting on top. Also just washed out from up above here. Man, what are the odds? Not good, but we got it. Keep on working down the bank here. 93, that's a beautiful target. See it already. There's no way that's a copper. No way that's a copper. It is. Are you kidding me?
I thought for sure this place didn't really go any older than 1890, and you know, everything that we found today, aside from the clock, that's been the case. But I guess it just goes to show you just absolutely never know what you're gonna find. Well, unfortunately you can't really make out the date down there, but hopefully you can see Lady Liberty's got a hat on. This is a classic head, large cent, and they only made these a few years. I think it was 1808 to 1814, which predates this site by 100 years, which is mind-blowing to me. Now, I highly doubt the people that lived here 100 years ago ever touched this coin. This was more than likely dropped 50, 100 years earlier by folks logging here. The mountains of Vermont, now mostly covered completely with forests, have been clear-cut multiple times in Vermont's history, and these mountains were covered by folks cutting down trees. I suspect that's who dropped this. It just so happens it's in the same place some other people lived 100 years later. Probably walking over it every day, having no idea that it was sitting here. In fact, I've walked through here multiple times already today, and I had no idea it was there. But finally, my metal detector hit it just the right way, and here it is. Man, unbelievable. All right, folks, well, I am calling it a day, and I love finding things from colonial times, early 1800s, but there's just something about the turn of the century homes, early 1900s, where you just absolutely never know what you're going to find, and today was no exception. I found quite a few surprises today that I'm pretty excited about. Got everything laid out. Let's take a look at it all. Look at this
pile of treasures, all kinds of different stuff today. Starting in the way back, we have our clock movement plate, a brass handle, whatever this is. Let me know your thoughts on that one. 2 lamps. This I found right towards the end of the day. I'm fairly confident this is a lighter, but it has 2 striker wheels. But a lighter certainly would make sense considering we have these 2 lamps and this, which I think is incredible. Just the look of this bicycle lamp. I wish the whole thing was there. Wouldn't that be incredible? But this was enough to identify it. I'm glad that I was able to find that and learn something new. Piece of a pocket watch, bridle rosette. I did actually find another piece of these suspenders. This is the part that clips on to this round part here, but we're still missing one. We have a piece of a padlock, our wonderful heart heel plate. We have our lucky coin. Did it bring me luck today? I think it may have. I don't know why this coin was here. It doesn't belong here, but I am more than happy to find it. So maybe this coin was lucky to allow me to find that today. All right, folks, well, I have spent the majority of the springtime metal detecting fields, honestly, to avoid the black flies. But summer is here, they have died down now. So if you enjoyed today's video, you can look forward to more mountain adventures coming soon. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll see you next week.